So life's been a little bit full these days, and I am finding it very difficult to get some time to write. So, at the advice of a couple people, I thought I would incorporate video blogging into my blog. So we're going to give it a shot. Some of the parameters that I'm kind of putting on myself is I'm going to not worry about if I have makeup on, if I'm dressed appropriately or whatever. It's just going to be as is. So for today, I just came back from a run and we're just going to get started, and just a few things that have been on my mind. Last weekend, or a couple weekends ago, I was at the Southwest Conference Against Trafficking out in Pomona. And then the week prior to that, my local group, the San Clemente Abolitionists, hosted a screening of the film Nefarious. And so lately these days, the issue of sex trafficking has been on our heart, and we have been working on raising the level of awareness on this issue of sex trafficking. A couple things that have been on my mind, and a lot of questions that we tend to get, are what's going on in our own communities and how can we fight it. So I just wanted to share a little bit of my local concerns and some of the things that we're doing, and hopefully there might be something there that you can take in your own communities. So one of the things that we have noticed in our local community is the increase in massage parlors, massage places, I guess, in our area, particularly this main drag of El Camino Real. Some may be legit massage places, but I think at least, at minimum, there's probably some illegal activity. Obviously my biggest concern are that there's women and minors possibly being forced into prostitution in those places. Some of the signs that I see that indicate concern are the fact that all the other businesses, the entrance is in the front of the street. And in these handful of massage places that opened up, it says open for business, but there's heavy curtains in the front, and the entrance to these establishments are in the back. So those should be a concern for the everyday person, that something is not right. Is that why would every other business you can enter in the front, and in these certain locations the entrance is in the back? So if you're seeing some stuff like that, you should be concerned. That's odd. If at minimum, that's odd business practices. And according to what we've been seeing nationally, and you can kind of look at some of the stuff on PolarisProject.org, who runs our National Human Trafficking Hotline number, you will see many cases where this is not just odd business practices, but that these are circumstances where people are being forced into prostitution, and that these are illegal places where there's victims behind closed doors. So what to do? So I have some concerns, and what I can do is call my local non-emergency law enforcement number and letting them know that I'm a citizen of this town and I'm concerned of these places and what's being done. And then also to call the National Human Trafficking Hotline number. I know I mention this all the time, but I don't know if it's being utilized as it should. So here it goes. The National Human Trafficking Hotline number is 888-3737-888. 888-3737-888. You can give this number to someone who you think is be at risk or is a victim if they need help to get out of their circumstances. Or you can also use this to report a tip. If you are concerned about a place, the information I gave of my concerns on these local massage places that I'm concerned about, just having that information alone is enough for me to call. I'm concerned. It seems odd. From stories that I know, it could be likely that there's something going on that's not legal. My biggest concern, obviously, is that there's women being forced against their will. And so that is enough information for me to call. I don't have to go into those places to try to get any more investigative. I'm going to hand that off to local law enforcement. I'm going to hand that off to the National Human Trafficking Hotline number. So call, please, please call. You are not badgering them by calling. It is important that we use our voices and we use the tools at our disposal to raise awareness on this problem. So again, the National Human Trafficking Hotline number, 888-3737-888. Thanks so much, and we'll see how this works.